What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, a show on the internet. We watch the latest and greatest stuff. I rolled off of that one with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps, the god of mischief, I should say, because this is Streamcast. How's it going, bro?
It's going good. I cannot wait for a 25-minute just chill sesh with the chat at the end of this one as well.
Of course, because that's the reason why people tune in. Yeah. They don't actually care about the show.
It's true.
It's the black screen.
Yeah.
With just the logo, and then we're just chilling there. We're like, so guys,
right?
Do you hear about the weather in?
There's weather in places.
Yeah.
Fun fact, because I don't know if we do remember to edit this one, you won't catch it, but we figured out what it was.
Yeah.
And we both realized it at the time and never questioned it. Because these files are normally somewhere in like the 15 to 18 gigabytes. We hit render and we're like, 25, that seems large. And this was a shorter episode. That seems big.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, I love it.
we'll just leave it as James' problem.
Could you imagine if he was like the head of like a nuclear reactor? The temperature's really high on core 7. Anyway.
It says it's going to melt down, but I mean...
Must not be a problem, don't worry about it, guys.
Liquids are used in cooling, so if it melts, more cooling. Seems legit to me.
Seems legit to me. We're the worst. We are the worst. Anyway, guys, welcome to Loki, episode 4
That's right.
Of Streamcast, where we're going to be watching the whole of Loki and other great shows on the internet with you guys. This was actually a good episode, in my opinion.
I liked it.
Really liked it myself.
They didn't do what you said. Last episode, you said if it turned out that actually Lady Loki was fully enchanting him, that it would redeem the episode.
Yeah, it was a filler episode, we said, but if this happened, it would have redeemed it.
Yeah. Didn't happen.
Didn't happen, so it's shit. Episode 3, shit.
There are actually a couple things that I didn't like about it.
Yeah.
Like at the very beginning, it just doesn't make sense. But I'll look past it because I did enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
On enjoying the episode, I saw an article by IGN.
Oh, tell me about this, because it's been the talk of the town.
Yes, so unlike IGN, I actually read their article. They obviously didn't watch the episode.
Right.
Or play the game when they review it.
That's their standard.
Yeah. But it was funny because the article was saying how this episode is just like sort of spinning its wheels, retreading old ground. And it was 90% fluff. That's all the article was.
So the article was 90% spinning its wheels, and they're complaining that this episode, which arguably did a lot of crap, a lot of stuff, they're like, was just spinning its wheels, retreading ground.
Yeah.
The irony.
It was funny.
Great.
It was funny. It would have been funny if it had been self-aware, but they have no idea.
IGN can't do video game reviews and can't do TV show reviews. Reviews in general. What are you doing, IGN? What are you doing?
But talking of a group who also can't do very good with video games and that's us.
Anything in general,
not just here. Where we have the flagship show on the FPN. But over on our channel as well, youtube.com/just search for Conversations of the True Gamer.
We haven't got that sorted out yet.
Because we have issues there.
Yeah.
The incredible people over on patreon.com/conversations that make this happen. It could happen without you. Not that important, but
we'd probably do it for nothing, and we'd be really upset. But you guys give us a little bit of happiness.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, it's like, do you want us to be happy or sad when you do it? You chose happy, which I don't understand, but okay.
Yeah.
But we love you for it. Those fine people are.
Diogo Dildo, Isak, the ultimate cumsalt, Carol to Rivia, aka Catspa, the friendly patron, Record Friction, Jeremy Renner, Martin Scorsese's master. Oh, sorry, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger.
That's right, because
he's an official Avenger.
Top bros.
Martin Scorsese's master, H. Bart's 12, the midget Aloy from Smallville, Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself, Albiscori, Super Sus Ben Fryer, who... Do you know what? Recently, he's been saying some decent stuff. So I don't know if we needed to bonk him on the head and then he just resets.
He's no longer defective.
He's starting to redeem himself. I don't want to say he's officially...
Is this because he watched season 5 of fucking... You motherfucker.
Wait, no. That's someone else. He hasn't watched Smallville yet.
Okay.
When he does, then he's fully redeemed.
Problem is we've got too many Bens.
We've got too many Bens. We've got too many... Anyway, we've got too many friends. We've got great guys. We love you all of you guys.
We do.
The Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sutherland, Filthy FIFA fanatic, Joe McCormack, My Juicy Left Nut, the sexy producer, Sean, and Kevin, the #1 simp. Of Xbox. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the streaming services going here. Streamcast, guys.
I really don't think enough people will know why that's funny, but it is hilarious. It's the funniest one you've got on there.
I like because there's a clear divide.
Yeah.
It's people who know and then people who don't know.
Yeah.
And some people are like, in the chat when we're doing the live chat, they're like,
Right. Right.
got him!
Got him!
But then everyone else is just like,
Why is there a 10-second dead air? On purpose, dead air. Like, if anybody makes content, you know, dead air is like the bane of your life.
Yeah.
And figuring out how to, like, genuinely put life into it is one of the most difficult things, and maintain a flow and all that stuff. And here we are.
but when you intentionally put it in
Yeah.
at the perfect moment.
It's gorgeous.
It's great.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Anyway, guys, episode 4
That's right.
of Loki. I love this one.
I enjoyed it a lot as well.
There was a lot that went on, and I can't wait to talk all about it. Was
Yeah.
there anything that you wanted to come up with off the bat?
I mean, it's finally here. Sheps was right.
Hashtag Sheps was right. I gotta give it where it's due. Hashtag Sheps was right here.
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking robots, mate.
They're all robots.
We said it.
Freaking called it.
And that's gonna be the title of the episode, obviously.
They're all
Mario.
freaking robots.
Yeah, all freaking
Yeah.
robots.
They're
The
all
timekeepers
freaking
are almost
robots.
gonna say
Yeah,
that right.
yeah.
It's proof right there. You
It's
fucking
proof.
nailed
It's
it in
proof.
the beginning.
I did actually say that, like, 100% the TVA are the bad guys.
Yeah.
And kind of looks similar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, I swear, didn't I say last time that I had a theory that getting pruned didn't kill you?
You did say that.
Something
actually.
like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, you did.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm making it up right now, but if I didn't say that, then I'm going to say that I did.
And no one can prove you wrong. It's not like
Exactly.
these things are on record
They're
anywhere.
not. Anyway,
Jesus,
so
there
I'm
you go.
right about all of it.
Yeah.
Also, did you notice that Hydra was in this episode? Everybody noticed that, right?
Everybody noticed that as well.
All got it, all
And
got it.
Mephisto was there as well. We saw
True,
him.
and
so,
Nightmare. The postman popped by.
Yeah, the postman popped by from
My
One
man.
Division.
So, how did you find the pacing of this?
I actually found it all right. I was quite gripped by everything all the time. I don't know, like maybe because when you're obviously taking notes,
Yeah.
that is like a break in your head.
Yeah.
Every time I looked
paused.
up, I felt like I was like, "Oh, this is something
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
happening
yeah.
right here," and I had to go back a couple of times because I would get locked in.
I
and I'd
did
be like,
that.
"Shit,
I
okay, I
did
need to go
that.
back. Need to go back."
I think I felt like the pacing was very similar to the last episode, but how gripping the content was the main change for me.
Yeah.
Where, like, in the last episode, I'm like, it's kind of slow paced. I don't really get it, and we spent weirdly for this show, we spent too long with people. Normally, these shows are cutting around a bit much.
Yeah,
In this one, everything was good.
yeah.
Everything was great. I do wish Angry Lady had a less sharp.
It was a
Character
full
development.
180.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like, I'm the TVA, and I'm no longer TVA.
Yeah, I'm TVA.
I'm done.
Overthrow the TVA. You know? But
Sing it,
although
sorry.
I will say she was still fantastic.
Still
I think
fantastic.
she's been brilliant the whole way through.
Well, we realized this after one of our episodes. I don't think it was last episode, one before that. I messaged you. I was like, Angry Lady, there's a reason why she's amazing, because she was in one of the greatest comic book movies
Yeah,
ever.
she was.
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
She
She's
was
lying bitch.
Exactly, she was lying bitch.
Yeah.
I love these names for her. Angry Lady, lying bitch. She was lying bitch.
It
in
does
that
feel
movie.
like she gets roles where you just can't remember her name, though, right?
Yeah. She's
Like,
it's
even us,
unfortunate, but
even us,
she
we
was on a
remember-
great performance.
She was really good, and
Yeah.
obviously has clear range and is good with accents and stuff. She's very good.
Yeah.
I do just wish that maybe if the last episode had not been quite so much filler, feels strong, but actually no, filler isn't strong because there was no Lamentis didn't come in any way. It was a filler episode. If we'd have had some more of her developing,
Yeah.
I feel like by the time she comes to this episode, her character would make a lot more sense. Even I guess she's minor, but I
Yeah.
just feel like I would have liked her a bit better for it.
They did try in this episode. They were like, there was a moment where she's like, she's like questioning, like, where's C20?
Yeah, did he?
It's like, what happened to C20? It's like she's
didn't-
questioning what's going on here.
Or did Loki say anything like that?
but it's not enough, I feel
Right, I
like.
agree.
I need a bit more than
If
that.
we'd have seen those things in the last episode,
Yeah.
and then this time is where she's like thinking about stuff and then goes and speaks to Lady Loki, I feel like it would have been a more clear character progression and would have made more sense. We only have 6 episodes,
we
But
have to spend
it felt
way more
rushed.
time on Lamentus. That's what we need
Right.
to do. Far more
Very
important.
important.
Far more
Very
important, right? Anyway, bro, shall we get started with this
Let's
episode?
do it, man.
So, we start
The Nexus event.
the Nexus event. That's right, episode
Yeah.
4, Nexus event. We start in Asgard.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, okay. And we've got a young Sylvie as
Yes,
a
we
child playing with her toys, monsters and stuff like that. And then right behind her, a portal opens up and she's taken by the TVA
Yeah.
as a variant. And she's like, what? It's like, you're variant so-and-so, you're being taken, you're being placed
Yeah.
under arrest for crimes against the sacred timeline.
Yeah.
It's a little kid, like,
It's a little girl.
what's this little girl doing?
Yeah.
Like, she's just playing with toys. What could she have possibly have done, right? Did you notice who the person was at the time?
No, I was like, I recognize this chick. Why do I recognize her?
I thought
But
it
I
was that
couldn't-
C20 chick.
That's what I thought it was
I was
as well.
like, I don't know, maybe it was
I was like-
fucking TVA agent. Who cares?
It's because Judge Lady. She actually has a name, but I forget it.
Ravonna,
Something
Ravonna,
like
something
Judge Lady.
Judge Lady.
She is because her costume's so different in these two scenes. I couldn't place her.
Yeah.
I was like, we've seen. Who are you? Because you don't look like her.
Yeah.
But I can't think who else you must be. So maybe you're her. And then it turns out it's Judge Lady.
And TVA agents are meant to look exactly the same. It's a uniform, right? They're meant
like
to look
Hydra
like that.
Stormtroopers. Yeah.
Exactly. And other people like
Okay,
that.
I'm gonna. I know we're supposed to be going through the stuff, but I want to throw this out
Go on.
and get it. Slap the shit. See if it sticks to the wall. Immediately, I literally went. And my chick was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll say it out loud because if you say stupid stuff out loud, as I've learned from you, it turns out to be true. What if Lady Loki, Sylvie, and Loki are siblings, and the variant that they came to get was actually Loki, but they turn up and find a Loki, and they take her, the wrong Loki, but the timeline's okay because it only wanted one Loki, then they delete the time. Do you know what I mean? So they're actually brother and sister. She's one of two Lokis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I was like, this is stupid, but I don't know why, but I feel like this makes sense.
But still, I'm gonna say it. I'm still gonna say it.
And I thought I'll say it out loud because if you say it out loud, then it becomes true. We've learned this on Streamcast.
That might be an interesting theory right there.
Yeah, I mean, most of the rest of the stuff I've said hasn't panned out yet.
The robots, though, confirmed.
Mate, I'm telling you, Robo Bucky, facts. Facts. So there you go.
We'll see if this one pans out. You've got 2
Yeah.
episodes to make it pan out. Actually, you'll probably string it into next year on another show. Yeah, so the judge woman brings her back to the TVA.
Yeah.
And we see a scene where the kid goes through the metal detector thing
Yeah.
that's going to turn any robot into molten lava. Gets the picture taken. Is there anything you want to add in here?
Well, just that, like, when we did it with Loki, it was kind of funny. Like, oh, is this everything you've ever said? Step through this, you might be a robot. Now, very much the TVA are the bad guys, right? This is a horror movie.
The kid doesn't seem to have done anything at Asgard.
Oh, she hasn't done anything.
No, the kid gets taken into like the processing area before the processing area,
Yeah.
and there's a guy who seems like he's being hurt or he's like choking, like his arms being
It's
bent
like
back.
a police brutality
And
scene.
the kid's
yeah.
just like, help him! And
Right.
like, it's an innocent child.
Right.
And these people are like, cool, we're going to process you like any other prisoner, and then we're going to kill you.
right.
Very much the bad guy here.
Right, and that metal detector thing I thought was interesting because the way it's shot's totally different.
You can see
It's totally different. So
marks
like
on the side.
with Loki, it's shot from above. They make a kind of a joke out of the height difference between the attendant or technician and Loki,
Yeah.
and but he's in control and all this stuff. Now with her, it's shot from below,
Yeah.
and we're seeing marks from clear disintegrations,
Yeah.
and like weirdly the room feels way bigger,
Yeah.
and it's very scary.
Very, very scary. Very scary. And,
Really well done.
And they get through it, and then they take her to the court area
The
where she's
hearing
going to get her
area, yeah.
sentencing. And just as she's like on the way, as they're like the judge lady who's not judge at this time pulls
Sylvie.
Sylvie,
Yeah.
Loki at the time, whatever, towards the actual pedestal, the place where she's going to get her sentencing, stamps on her foot, takes the TEM-pad,
Yeah.
and dusts
Figures
into
out
a port. Immediately, dusts into a portal.
It takes me days to figure out a new phone.
Right?
And that's technology I know.
And a little child just overpowered a TVA
Yeah,
agent
yeah.
with a stamp on the foot.
Yeah, and then goes on to figure out how to charge it up and all that
And
stuff.
is never caught again with no knowledge of what the TVA is, how they operate,
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
Believable. All right. That's,
there are some holes in this early area.
Yeah.
But, we'll allow. I mean, she's a Loki.
Exactly.
So-
True. Anyway, then we have the title card, the Marvel Avengers, Marvel Studios. And then we go to if the time gives them
Mobius wants to speak to Hunter C20.
That's right. I need access to Hunter C20, but apparently she's no longer stable.
Yeah.
Apparently she severely declined after being brought
Well,
to...
so Judge Lady's like, you can't speak to her. She's in isolation. And he's like, no, well, let me speak to her. She's like, no, she didn't make it.
It's like... Demega's like, what do you mean? It's like,
No,
she was okay when I saw her.
This is the closest we're going to get. He goes, what? How?
Yeah. How? We're like, was that wow? No.
Close enough.
God
I'll take it. We got it.
I swear, if they don't, I did read somewhere that apparently he's not going to say it in the entire show, but is that misdirection? We don't know, right?
It's hard to say.
Anyway, so yeah, he goes, what are you talking about? Like, what happened to her? It's like, when you brought her back, she severely declined after that. It's like, she seemed okay. Like, it was nothing.
Yeah. She was okay at
She was
first.
a bit shaken up, but that was all. Like, she was fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's no reason to think she's lying to him. So, that's
well,
the end
they're
of
the
that
good
then.
guys.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
We go back to Lamentus.
Lamentus, where Lokis are waiting for their death.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
And everything's crashing around them.
Yeah.
There's meteors hitting from the planet above. Everything looking bad.
Yeah.
They sit
It's looking
down.
rough.
Everything's like sort of, they're chilled because they know they're gonna die.
Loki apologizes
He does.
for getting them both killed.
A big moment for Loki.
Pretty huge, actually. I feel like Loki's getting a huge amount of progression and no one's really giving him the credit for this.
In this episode
Oh my god,
specifically.
in this episode at the end,
So many levels,
was
so
like-
many things.
forget on the edge of my seat, I was doing like the standing hover. I'm like, say the words, say the words, Muff. Anyway.
And Sylvie opens up about what happened to her. Says a little bit
Yeah.
more about, like, I was taken when I was a child and whatnot, and I've been hiding ever since in these apocalyptic events.
She says, it's kind of beautiful. She says, like, I've lived a lifetime in 1,000 the end of 1,000 worlds or something like that.
Yes. And who knows that? Who would know that this would be? I would die in one of them. Like in one of them will be my death.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's quite.
Yeah, it was.
You were
slick.
hiding in apocalyptic events to live, and now it's gonna be your death as well.
It's pretty
poetic.
I'm not a big poetry guy,
Yeah.
but if that's poetry, I'm all down.
Yeah.
Like, something about that was so weirdly beautiful.
pretty perfect.
Like
Perfect, isn't it?
watching it at the end of the world, and I don't know, man. It was cool. It was very cool.
It was.
And
Loki does say like how amazing she is, and I say like you managed to run rings around the whole TVA.
she
and, like,
says,
starts
"Do you
doubting herself and things like that.
She says, "Do you ever think as Lokis we're destined to fail?" And he's like, "What? No, you're amazing.
Yes,
you're
that's the way it
amazing. You from the outside, you ran rings around them. You figured it all out. You came this close to getting to the timekeepers. Like, you're incredible."
Yeah.
Which is great. And cut at the TVA, they're watching the Sacred Timeline, trying to find it. No blips. And then
They can't find them at all, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, we don't know where they are. We just have to keep watching the timeline. When
Right.
there's a divergent, we know that they
We'll
must
know,
be there.
yeah.
And they're watching, nothing's happening.
And then one timeline.
Loki like touches
Oh yeah.
Sylvie on the arm, and then at that moment, back at the TVA.
So I think they didn't make enough of a fuss about this.
Let's say what it is first of all. So like they make the suddenly a branch off of the sacred timeline
Right.
comes off, heading towards the next event. They're like, whoa, like have you ever seen a branch like that
Right.
before? It's like, no, it's like never. And they're like looking at each other, and then that's the
Well,
moment
that's gotta
that
be it.
two
Yeah.
portals open up behind them, and then cut.
And they're kidnapped somehow.
I guess it sort of cuts to black, but I guess they go into the portals because that's their only option. And then the next scene we
I
see
guess
is
that
they've
would
got the
make
collars
sense.
on
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
and they're being
We're
transported.
gonna have to do some fade to black, and you have to like suspend disbelief sort
Yeah.
of stuff.
But yeah,
So the thing that I don't feel like they made enough of a fuss about is when she did the bombing attack in the second episode.
Yes.
The divergent lines are like somewhat horizontal.
yeah.
This divergence is straight up. It's vertical.
Yeah.
It like takes off. This is entire not opposite direction, but you know, like everything's supposed to be going that way. It goes this way.
Yeah, this is a complete not a tangent or like a. Anyway, like it's a really far
It's
off
sharp.
of the path.
It's sharp. They've never seen in all of time. They've never seen an event like this, right? And I don't feel like visually it was shown very well. I think it would have been easy to miss. And the idea of the divergent timelines that need to be pruned was never explained at like, oh yeah, the steepness. We've never seen one go past this angle before.
Yeah.
They should have had a scene like that for us to be like, wow, this is...
Where they had the explanation about the you can't go back before the time of the
event,
Nexus event. Where they had that explanation, they should have had something like that before, where they're like the minor events are like this, and like bigger events are like that.
He could have showed the
and
temp pad,
and then go, oh, have you ever seen one like this?
Right.
And then it would have been a bit more obvious, but they didn't.
He could have shown the temp pad and say, see this one, it's currently minor, but it's not going. It's it's heading in this direction. If it was steeper, that would be a thing. Have you ever seen one vertical? No, those don't exist.
Yeah,
it just can't happen.
Yeah,
and
then it would have made more of an impact.
Right.
We got it because we're really into this stuff, but the average viewer probably didn't understand that.
Yeah.
But anyway, it all happened because he touched her.
Yeah, they were making a connection. Both of them were making a connection. Yeah.
We don't know what was gonna really signify that. We can make guesses, but we do get a bit more information later on, and we see what happens. But anyway, they get taken away, and they both get arrested. Slap a collar on them, and they both get taken to their respective like cells right there. Mobius is pissed.
Yeah.
Mobius is pissed right here, and they're both blaming each other for betraying each other because the last thing that Loki saw from Mobius was he was chasing, immediately assumed that he'd backstabbed him without even a question.
Yeah.
So he's pissed off, but from Mobius' standpoint, it's like, oh, you're working now with Loki.
Right.
What have you done?
Yeah. I trusted you, and the second you got a chance, you left and went after her. Yeah.
Exactly. Mobius opens up a red portal.
Yeah, we've never seen one of these before.
In the interrogation room.
In
never
our
seen
4 episodes.
In our 4. In the whole history of the MCU, we've never seen this before. Opens up a red portal, and he's about to throw him in, and he's like, see how you feel after a couple of hours of this. He's like, whoa, before you go. He's trying to like reason with him so he doesn't throw him in the prison cell, wherever it is, that he doesn't know what's going to happen. He says, Mobius, the TVA is lying to you.
Is it he... I feel like
Go on.
he said that earlier. I feel like while they're talking, the last Mobius says that Lady Loki.
Tell me how you think it goes. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is right. Oh no, this might be after he comes out the first time.
Okay, the way I have it in my head anyway, the way it was that he's trying to like tell him stuff, but at that point you can't just blurt out anything because he's not listening to you.
Yeah.
And then when he's just about to go in,
you're right. You're 100%
he says,
right. Yeah.
"Go on, one more trickster from the god of tricks," and he's like, "The TVA is lying to you," and he just doesn't believe him. He's like, "Throw him in right there," and he throws him into the red room, the red prison room, and whatnot. And
Queen Maeve is that? No, sorry, wrong character.
Queen Maeve, no, it's not exactly. No. That's a cheap rip-off. That's what it is. Sif pops around. He's in Asgard. And she's coming around and she's like, I don't remember what
she calls him like a craven. Oh, I wish I remembered the line.
It's very Asgardian like, speaking. And she's holding like a lock of her hair. Basically, the whole side of her head has been chopped off. And he goes like, you did this to me, and kicks him in the balls, punches him in the face, drops to the ground, so you'll forever be alone.
Yeah.
And you're worthless, and you'll forever be alone.
Yeah.
And she walks off. And then comes round the corner again.
You craven, whatever the frickin' Asgardian.
You did this to me, and it's like, oh, it's time loop.
Right.
Oh, this
very
is
original.
Very original. And timekeepers and whatnot does exactly the same thing. And then we cut back to we cut back to Mobius. He goes to see the judge lady.
Yeah.
He says, I want to talk to Sylvie. I want to talk to the other Loki. She's like, no way.
She's too dangerous, and
last time, you escaped. You can't do that. We can't risk anything. Well, let's not do it.
He says, well, why can't I? She might escape. She's not going to escape. You lost to Loki in his very first interview, and she's way more dangerous. And I'm like, okay. Like at this point, I'm fully not trusting this chick. Yeah. But I'm like, that at least is a totally valid. Like shutdown.
So you don't want to admit, great. You're great. We accept you're great. Last time you did let Loki go.
Right. and the not the dangerous one.
Orcs.
Yeah.
Orcs.
Oh, right there. I
You're
can't
the one
believe
that
I
hates
said that.
Abreves.
I was going to say, I
and-
can't believe I said that.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say Abreves.
Yeah.
No, don't
That's
say
right.
the word Abreves. Oh, God, I hate people that abbreviate. Okay, yeah, so he goes to, can I interrogate? But she won't let him.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
Then
this is actually where we learn that Hunter C20 died.
yeah, that's one of the things
Yeah.
I asked was what's happening. Like, Hunter C20 is like dead. Really, what happened to him?
Yeah.
So that's what stuff
And,
like
and
that.
also, again, like good. I mean, to me, this feels like very clear tying up loose ends, but it may, while I was watching it, it might not be, but I feel like it is. But she says, like, look, I didn't want you to go in and we haven't told anyone because we don't want them to panic that if they
Yeah.
come up against this Loki, they're definitely going to die, even if they survive.
Exactly.
So we don't want to cause a panic. I'm like, okay, that sounds somewhat believable. Okay.
And I think actually this is also a point where when he comes out of the room, he tells B15.
Is it B15?
I think it's B15.
Yeah. Angry
The
lady
angry
says, "Oh,
lady.
did Loki say anything?"
It's like, where's C20 and whatnot? Because I haven't seen her. It's like,
I can't.
I can't tell you. It's like, she can't talk to her. She's not doing good. Just
Yeah,
leave her
she's
at
not
that.
good. Not doing good. Yeah.
Keep her
All right,
at
did Loki say anything? Oh, some horse shit about like the TVA is lying to me. Why? Oh, just doing my job.
It's our first questioning of what's going on.
It's
And she's
also
supposed
the-
to be like the most loyal of the whole bunch.
It's also kind
Very
of
interesting.
our
like that.
first real crack where she's clearly lying, where she says like, "I'm just doing my job,"
Yeah.
and it's like this is not the same person. Immediately we know this is not the same person.
Yeah, something's gone on inside that head of hers. Anyway, we then cut back to Loki. He's in his time loop.
In his dick kick time loop. yeah.
Exactly, multiple times. Now, before I say what happens in this thing, what I really want to stress is that what's really cool about this is that this isn't an illusion.
Yeah,
This
they're
isn't-
really there.
This isn't like hell where
Yeah.
you've been forced to relive this memory that
Yeah.
you've got over and over again.
Or like your holodeck is glitched.
Exactly. They've found the moment that this happens
Yeah.
in time and are placing you in it in a loop.
Yeah.
So if you were to interact with the person, this person will act how they would have acted because that is the real
it's
person
really them,
right
yeah.
there.
He's really back there when this happened to him. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's just getting deleted
It's
and
very
redone
cool.
again.
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
very
cool. And if you go into that with that mind where you go, okay, so he's like been kicked a bunch of times and he's beaten on the ground. When she comes round again and it's like, okay, stop, look. And he tries to reason with her and it's like, I get it. I'm a narcissist. I was totally in the wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I did it because it pleased me.
I crave attention. I thought
crave
it would be
atten-
funny, but it isn't.
It isn't. She doesn't hit him that time. It's like,
But she says the thing again.
she says the thing, but in a more
Yeah.
somber tone. It's like,
It's almost like she's sad for him. She's like,
you'll always be alone.
yeah, you're alone. You'll always be alone. And does she say you're worthless? But something like you'll never achieve anything. You are alone and you always will be.
And then just walks off.
Yeah.
And it's just like worse that
right,
time.
it is worse. Yeah.
And when you think about it being like, that's how that person feels towards you because
Yeah.
at least in that moment, you were a piece of shit.
Yeah, and
Doesn't
and
matter
that
how much
Loki
you
really
grew.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, after that one,
Instead of her, Mobius walks on the side.
Mobius pops
Yeah.
around. So have you had enough?
Let's talk. All right.
Let's go. Then we go to the interrogation room.
Yeah.
The interrogation goes bad for Loki.
Yeah, so he starts asking, like, so how long have you been working together? When did you first come into contact with the variant? How long have you been working with her? That kind of thing. It's like,
I think Loki sort of like thinks that his plan isn't going well. They're not listening to him. He's not managing to. He has to change up his game. However, his plan to essentially say, yes, I'm working with Sylvie,
Yeah.
and we've made this plan for a long time ago in efforts to, I don't know, maybe get them to spin their wheels a bit more until he finds an escape plan, was a bad idea.
he tries to cover for her.
Yes.
He's like, wait, she's not working. I'm not working for her. She's working. And then eventually he's like, no, she's working for me.
Yeah.
She found me, or I found her
In Asgard.
In
all that
Asgard, she came to me, blah blah blah, and then we laid this plan to take control, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's clearly not doing too great. And then he also says something like, "Once she stops being useful, I'll get rid of her." And Mobius like, "Well, you don't have to worry about that. Took care of that for you already."
Exactly. She tried to escape. She pruned 2 guys. Yeah. So
And
it
then
was
she got
terrible and
taken out,
whatnot.
yeah.
But then we took her out and we pruned her as
Yeah.
well. So she's gone. And then he's like, wait, what?
Oh yeah, this Loki in this one specific topic, no poker face.
Exactly. He's like, wait, what? And it's like, yeah, we got rid of her. So she was like, she did this. I'm like, what that? And then he sort of sits back and he's like,
Oh, well,
Good job then, innit?
Yeah, good riddance. And I love how Mobius, because this is the thing is, although they're not like happy-go-lucky friends, there is a friendship here.
There is, yeah.
And he's like, "Are you kidding? You freaking like this chick?"
Straight away, he's like looking down first of all, and he looks up and he's like,
"Yeah, you like her,
man, you like her,
you like her."
Anyway, Loki then tries to reason with him, and eventually blurts out that all of you are variants.
Yeah, so he's this is the scene I was thinking of, and I actually really like this final bit where the Mobius is like, "Come on, tell me something I don't know," basically. And he's like, "Fine, you're all variants. The TVA is lying to you. You're not, they didn't create you. You're variants. They wiped your memories, and they're using you as slaves or whatever." And he's like, "Nah, you're full of shit, get rid of him." And then
there is like a moment, but it's like, "Nah, I don't believe you."
And he
anyway.
has suspicions. He's a curious mystery-solving detective, right?
Yeah.
And as he's like getting dragged away to the red door again, he says, "You know, Mobius, there's a lot of liars here, but you're the biggest." He goes, "What? Because I lied about killing Sylvie?" He's like, "No, that I can respect.
Yeah.
It's the lies you tell yourself."
Yes.
And you're like, "Oh shit, where did all this self-realization come from, Loki? Damn, son, come straight to the bone."
That's a cut right there, deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that ends.
And
right
he gets
there.
thrown back in the same time loop.
He does, yes. Then we cut to Hunter B-15, Angry Lady.
She's starting to crack, man.
She's outside just staring off into
In
the
the
distance. She's
hallway.
like, almost like shaking, almost her head's like moving a little bit and her like eyebrows twitching a little bit.
It's like she's kind of remembering stuff or having like a PTSD flashback.
Something's bad going on here. And then she pulls out her pruning stick, just turns it on like a badass, walks all the way up to the door where Sylvie's being kept, talks to the prisoners, and it's like, "I want to talk to her, open the door." And they don't answer. It's like, she's the top dog.
It's like Thor comes in and wants to speak to prisoner. Like, okay,
No problem.
freaking yeah,
I ain't got no issues here.
yeah, cool.
Ain't no issues here.
Yeah,
She
it's
walks
you.
right in. They close the door. She then deactivates her pruning machine.
Yeah,
Puts it on her side. And then she talks to Sylvie. Rather than...
does she though? I feel like Sylvie says something, and all she does is open the door and says, "Come with me."
Yes. So it's like Sylvie says something because obviously she's on defensive mode. But then she just turns off her pruning machine and then pulls out her TemPad, opens up a portal behind and says, "Come with me."
Yeah.
And they bust through.
Do we go straight back there? No, we don't.
I think there's one thing in between. We go to... we cut to the judge room where Mobius and Judge are there. They're having a drink.
Yeah.
They're sitting down, they're talking. The judge asks a question, goes, "If you could go one place in time, where would you go?"
I can go. And then she goes, "If you could go anywhere,
Anywhere.
anytime."
Anytime, where would you go?
Well, I can go anywhere, anytime.
Come on, that's part of
I
the game.
dunno.
Come on,
Yeah.
just stay on with me.
Also, I like that he says, I kind of like it here.
Yeah.
Doing the work, chilling with you. I like it here.
While that is romantic and he meant it in the way that I like you, she's like,
Right.
"It's boring, but don't worry about it." It's
Boring.
like where I would go and
Quick-
what I would do.
Quick deflection. What are you going to do with that trophy? It's Lady Loki's sword.
That's true. Lady Loki's sword is right there. So where are you going to put that trophy right there? And she picks it up. She's looking at her trophy board, loads of things. And in the background, he pulls out his TemPad, puts it down,
Swaps it,
takes
yeah.
her one, puts it in there. She puts it down. It's like, that's perfect.
That's
Perfect
good.
place for it right there. Well, I better be heading off now. I have
That's
my one
the
drink.
only place that he frigged up, innit? He should have stayed and had a drink.
Should have had 6 more.
And tried
Proved.
and tried to bang her.
Like, hey, while we're here
Right.
in this room and I have a penis and you have a vagina, why don't we put those things together?
Right.
This is completely different to
You
any
know,
other
the
time
last
we're
two
together.
pieces- the last 2 pieces of the puzzle that haven't fit together right yet. You and me, baby girl.
We're just
Like,
gonna-
he's been trying it the whole time. Try and get laid again.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it will look weird.
Exactly.
Drink just a little bit more than she's offering.
Yeah.
So, because you still have to go back to work, but you're celebrating. But so just kind of not overstep, but get really close to that line. Try and maybe grab a tit, go for a kiss. You know, do the normal thing. You know,
Because she's hot, man.
Go
Jesus,
for,
do
go for the
something.
kiss and then maybe go for the boob grab and let her push your hand away because you know she's gonna do it.
And then you leave, and that's your moment.
Right?
Then
You
everything's
know
great.
that you've cheekily overstepped, which is the way you're supposed to do it in these relationships.
Yep.
She's told you no, and you said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go back and finish up my paperwork."
Exactly.
And then you leave. Freaking hell, Mobius!
the guy was
Are you
like,
a virgin? Is this your first time?
I had half a glass of scotch,
Man, that's the good scotch. That's the scotch from anywhere on the sacred timeline.
Half a shot of scotch, I
Right.
should say, and it's just like, well, I better be going. And she's like, only one drink, Mobius? It's like,
It's pretty sus, Mobius.
I think I had two, right? Didn't I
Moby
have
sus.
two? Moby sus, that's it. Moby sus, that's right.
I fully apologize. We're deleting not only our show but the Four Pillars Network
The Four
after
Pillars
that one.
Gone.
I'm
Four
so
Pillars
sorry. I'm
Network
so
is gone.
sorry.
And yeah, gets out of there.
Cut to
There is one thing in between
yeah?
here before he leaves. The judge lady says, Sylvie's going to get pruned, and the timekeepers want to oversee it and want you to be there as well during the pruning.
and
it's
also
big
like this
moment.
is a career-making case.
Exactly.
So like this is pretty huge.
Big deal, big
Yeah.
deal. Let's do that right then. Anyway, then we cut to Sylvie and the hunter.
Yeah, two
woman
of the time doors, whatever the frick they are.
open up,
Rain.
and we're
Rock
back
smart.
at Rock Smart timeline where we was before, right before that hurricane hit.
Two things.
Yes,
One, it's an apocalypse, so she can do this
Yeah.
and not get caught.
true.
Two, it's the apocalypse where the event that she's curious about happened.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like plays on multiple levels. It's a good place to come.
I liked it. It was a good one. And she goes, "Oh, so you brought me here to fight then?"
Oh,
It's
she
like,
goes, "You want a fair fight? I can respect that."
exactly. She's like, "I saw things. What did you do to my mind?" It's like, "What did you put in there?" And it's like, "I can't put stuff in there like that."
Right. Yeah, I can only use what's already there.
Yeah. I just showed you what was already in there. And she goes, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Show me." And then she just puts out her hand again.
Here's one problem. I have the biggest problem with this in the whole show.
Let me say this. Let me finish
Yeah.
that scene. They put a hand on her. You see the green stuff on the side of her head, and she sees presumably her life before she
Yeah.
became a TVA agent.
She even says, "I looked happy. I looked so happy."
I looked so happy, such a hot.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of that scene.
Except that Lady Loki has no powers.
she has the thing around her.
She has the thing around her neck.
Wait, does the thing around her neck stop her powers?
Yes.
Or does the TVA place stop her
Both.
powers?
Both.
I don't think so.
Because I'm gonna say at least
You say what you think.
I'm going to
Dylan.
say at least the collar can stop it, because if they were willing to take the Lokis out with the collars on, ultimately what that means is in an area where the demigod has its power, they're going with it. Like a fully powered Thor can, with all of his powers, can beat TVA agents. Now they could reset him, but he could just lightning them or do whatever. So they must have a way to turn their powers off. So maybe she let her use them.
I don't
and was
think
gonna,
that
like,
collar
reset.
does anything to their powers. I think it only allows them to control them wherever they are in like
I
space
feel
and
like
stuff
that's
like that.
super dangerous.
Well, the thing is that I think they only ever use it whenever they're in the TVA place, right?
Didn't Loki have a collar on when they took him to Rocksmart as well?
I don't think so. No, actually, I don't think so. I
I
think
mean, let
by
me
then
go-
they put him on his
Okay, maybe.
thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the way they're doing it.
Then if that's the case, I don't have a problem with
Yeah.
it. But for me, I was like, okay, it's not like their powers don't work in the TVA, and it made sense to me that if they were going to take him out,
Yeah.
then they could control what level of power he had with the thing, as well as resetting him.
You
Because
think it would be one of those functions, like it's a prisoner, let's deactivate all their powers
Right.
as well.
Because like
make him
it's no
inert.
use being able to control him if he murders 10 TVA agents before you send him back.
Yes,
Right? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It would
but
make sense if it was in there, but I don't think that's actually it.
You might be right.
I think so.
Loki.
Let's see what happens in the next one. So the timekeepers want to personally oversee the thing. Starts talking about Hunter C20 and what happened. She gives a good speech about what happens when they're talking
Yeah.
in the thing.
Do you know
And
what?
take
He
deep
doesn't
breath.
have it on.
Yeah?
He doesn't. Yeah.
I think that's it. Then.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Weird.
Anyway, then we cut back to good old Mobius.
Yes.
He's head over to the huge library of all time and everything, and he
Somewhere
pulls out
nice and quiet.
pulls out the TemPad in one of the stores. He's like, let me take a look at this.
Yeah.
Looks in and he searches for Hunter
Yeah,
C20
yeah.
and sees her status
Deceased,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. I didn't know.
So
that.
she was telling me the truth.
She's actually
Yeah.
dead. Let me see. So, there's a file here for like
Debrief.
the interview.
Yeah.
presses it, and sees the interview of the last interview and what
Yeah.
happened with C20. And she's like, no. And she seems like calm in this sort of scenario.
Yeah.
She's like trying to
She's not
emphasize her
insane.
point. Yeah, she's not insane.
You aren't listening. We're all variants.
We're all variants. Like, I had a life.
Yeah.
I was there in that bar. I remember it. I had friends and everything.
Yeah.
I remember this life. And then you see
Okay, we're done here.
we're done here. And then conveniently looks over to the camera.
Stop. Enhance. I hate
Zoom.
that. That's one of my biggest pet peeve tropes.
Clears the image.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect HD.
This is the original Game Boy pad, except for when he zooms in on her face.
Suddenly the best resolution ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then we see it's the judge woman,
Judge lady,
Ravonna,
yeah.
or whatever her name is.
Ravonna of Ravenclaw, or whatever it is.
We make people so angry with not knowing names.
Good.
And we've continued on it. It's
Part of
good.
the brand.
I love it.
Part of the brand, part of the show.
So after that, Mobius then goes to Loki in his time loop prison.
Yeah.
And after Loki's sort of like been beaten down from multiple times again, he runs in and he's like, Loki, I'm
What's the
here.
plan?
And he's like, what? Well, he first of all, defensive with him. And he's like, well, no, I'm not falling for your tricks anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you don't understand. I know about what happened to the hunter.
Yeah.
I know what's going on here. We need a plan. I'm going to break you out of here. I go, okay, we're working together. And I think they have a touching moment as well about being friends. And like, I never did lie to you. I never did try to betray you.
Yeah, it's something like how he says something along the lines of how can I believe a Loki or trust a Loki? And he goes, well, what about a friend? It's sort of like that Lord of the Rings meme, except it's good, unlike Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, unlike Lord of the Rings. Awful.
And then just before he leaves, he goes, by the way, like you're pretty incredible. You can do anything you want, and you deserve to be happy. Just in case anyone told you different, because he's had a million loops of being told he's worthless.
Needs a little bump in the right direction.
And Loki immediately forgets this 1,000 years of torture.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, thanks, Mobius.
Water under the bridge, mate. Don't worry about it.
You're pretty okay,
You're a good guy. And they come out of their prison,
Yeah.
and it's Judge Woman standing right
Yeah.
there with her guards,
Ravenclaw or whatever.
Ravenclaw guards. She's standing all there as well with her TVA agents with all prune sticks at the ready. And he tries to play it cool. He's like,
She says you got something on. He goes, yeah, I made it all the way down here before I realized I must have picked up yours.
pick yours.
Way slicker than when he was in the frickin' office.
Exactly. But the TVA agent takes it, doesn't give the other one back, just takes that one. She then holds both of them.
I knew it was going bad when she never, like, don't get me wrong, this is rough, but like when she didn't give his 10 pad back, bad.
Put them both together like a deck of cards.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, this is not going well. And it's like, is everything okay? It's like, very tense moment. And eventually he just sort of like, he's very smart guy. Mobius is very smart.
He knows the gig's up.
He
the
knows
jig is up.
everything's gone. It's like, all right, well, I'm just going to lay it out there. And he goes, he sort of goes off. Like, no one else in the room understands what it is. Only she would know. He goes, wherever I could go anywhere, I'd go to wherever I really was from.
Yeah, where I had a life.
Yeah, where I had a life before the TVA. Maybe I had a jet ski. Maybe that's what I'd like to do. And then she goes,
I really hope the jet ski thing was his life bleeding in.
I think it might have been
really
like he was a
hope it
jet
was.
ski salesman or something like that. It's like, maybe I had a jet ski. That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
And she goes, prune him. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're like, okay, so it's a fight scene now. He gets freaking pruned.
I'm like, Mobius!
Major character death. But
This is like Game of Thrones season 1 Ned Stark.
No. This episode just spins its wheels.
Yeah,
It's just spinning its wheels.
nothing happens in this
Nothing.
whole episode. I was like, yo! And the look on Loki's face as
He's
well.
crushed.
His mate was just taken from him. And they just repaired their bond.
Yeah.
They were like, patch
Fully
it up,
disintegrated,
Put some
yeah.
filler on that, don't worry about
Right.
it. Jesus, it's madness.
Get some Gorilla Glue in there or stick.
Exactly. And then she goes, all right, we'll take him to the elevator. I'm going to go get the other one, and we're going to go to the timekeepers.
Yes.
And then they head over to Sylvie
Yeah.
to grab her so they can go. And when she walks in, who else was here? Because she's all wet.
Sylvie's there, and the thing that I think gives it away the most, because I don't know if you get wet in one of those time memory prisons would carry with you.
Okay.
But it's the way she's looking. She's like proper like self-satisfied, isn't it?
Yeah. And the guards outside, they say B-15 was in here. Like, if
She
we
couldn't
requested
say no,
it. Can't say
yeah.
no to her. She's angry lady. Have you seen her?
Right. She's
God,
really angry and a lady.
she'll prune us. God damn it. We won't do anything right here. Anyway, the judge then takes the Lokis to the elevator, and just outside the elevator, there's like, I've got them from here. She's got her reset button in her hand just in case they try any funny business, and they proceed to go down the elevator. While they go down, there's a moment of silence where it's just the tension could be cut with a bloody knife.
I absolutely love this scene.
Perfect,
It's
right?
so brilliant.
Goes, it's like, do you remember me? It's like, yes, I remember you. And it's like, you just took me when I was a child.
Yeah.
I did nothing wrong. Do you remember what my next event was?
Tell me what my Nexus event was.
Tell me what
I
my
think
next-
she's curious because she must have seen plenty of them over her.
Right. And
Yeah.
she's curious, like, what was it that she would have done that would have caused this whole thing? She's like, what was my next event? What? It's like, well, what was my next event that was so bad
Yeah.
that caused all of this and my whole life of hiding? And then she looks and she smiles.
Yeah.
And she's like,
This is savage.
I honestly don't remember. Oh, like you're not even important. Your whole life, everything that's happened here,
Mate.
insignificant to me.
This
I don't care. Oh,
that scene up to this point in the show, other than maybe Mobius's death,
yeah,
was one of the best.
yeah.
One of the best in the whole scene. The fact that she's like, I don't even know your name. It's the Thanos line. Isn't
Yes,
it? It's
I don't
Thanos.
know who
I
you
don't
are.
know who you are. It's something about that. I don't know why, but the fact that like, but do you know what it is? It's because this is such an important thing to Sylvie, but to her it's just another day in the job. I don't remember. I've done this a bunch of times. You've caused a lot of trouble, but so what?
Yeah. Part of the job. Don't care.
Yeah.
Forget you tomorrow.
Right. It was, and also she looks so like. There's a minute where she's so really deeply hurt,
Yeah.
and then she's like, she kind of immediately comes to terms with it. And she's like, huh, "Fuck these guys."
These guys are dead now.
And also rip your headphones.
Yes, that might have been fuck you guys. Yeah. Then we get down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's the chamber of the timekeepers.
That's right.
We walk outside into this like foggy area, and it's very strange. It's almost like it's another planet.
Yeah, it
It's
does
very
feel like
alien in there and whatnot,
Yeah.
and it looks cold and misty.
It's very Batcave-esque. So you've got
Very
all of the TVA, and then they live in the Batcave.
exactly right.
Yeah.
They're like, we're living up here in luxury. We've got free meals up
Yeah,
there.
it's cool. We've got a cave,
We got
and
a cave.
it has mist. So
and it has some pink lights on the side.
pink
you know?
light, it got neon lights and mist. Do you have mist up here? No, I didn't think so.
Didn't think so, bitch.
Peasants.
Exactly. Anyway, they get down there, and the timekeepers are right there, all three of them,
Yeah,
looking all.
in their floating Thanos chairs as well, which is
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
When you saw the timekeepers,
Yeah.
how impressed were you?
I not very.
I was not either.
I felt like you know, the greatest hero movie ever made, Green Lantern.
Oh yes.
I feel like they did the imposing, high up floating figures even better, and that's Green Lantern.
I was more impressed by those guys, those
The Guardians.
Guardians.
Yeah.
That's it. I was way more impressed by them. When I saw these guys, I was like, and they started talking with the one with the
Ooh.
big, huge mustache-looking thing, but it's like a part of his face.
It's reptile skin, but it's a mustache.
I was
It's
just
not
like,
these guys. This is it. These are they. They are them.
all right, whatever
Yeah.
you say, fam. Whatever.
Yeah,
whatever goes
I was
on
with
there.
you, and I was looking at them thinking, something's up, because I don't think these guys are as impressive as we've been told they are.
Yeah.
Or what we're seeing isn't as impressive. When it happens,
Yeah.
I don't immediately say, okay, there are no timekeepers.
No,
Right? They
it's
might
a cover for something.
right, or just like the room where they interact through these things, so that they're never at risk potentially,
Mhm.
or they maybe don't exist.
Yeah.
But
Because all
Not-
the
not
things in like,
impressive.
you know where like, they do the judge room where they like giving people their sentencing, the things in the background, those big wooden
Yeah.
like faces, I'm like, whoa, that looks imposing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
looks like these people are serious.
Also-
and these are the guys. I'm like,
also, before we meet the timekeepers, when we see them, they're very sinister. We see them early on in the episode as well.
it's like a shadow, but then red eyes.
Yeah, they're very sinister. Also, very clearly the bad guys.
Yeah.
And then these guys, super unimpressive.
Super unimpressive.
It may be a case of like never meet your heroes,
Could be
because we have experienced that. We've met people, but then also we met people and they've been just as cool as we thought.
I think this has to be a cover for something, and we're gonna
Yeah.
find out what it is. If it would have been more interesting if we what we would have said if we hadn't had that last scene that we haven't mentioned just yet.
Yes.
What would have happened then if it would have been like, so these are the timekeepers, eh?
Right.
This whole show's just dropped off for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
I wonder if that would have been.
Totally.
Anyway, so they get in there, and the timekeepers, they're like, oh, so you're the guys that have caused so much trouble in the timeline and whatnot.
Right.
And they get a little bit pissed with each other. They're like, oh, I know why you've brought us here. It's because you're scared. You're scared of us because of what we can do and things like that.
Right.
And then at that moment, Hunter B-15 pops out behind them and stops the TVA, the Ravonna judge woman's ability to use their...
To reset Lady Loki.
Reset Lady Loki,
Yeah,
so
so
she can move on.
As Lady Loki's been saying, no, I think that this is happening. She takes steps forward and she gets rewound.
Yes.
And I think her whole point is the whole reason you want to see it happen and all that stuff is you're afraid of us and you want to make sure this is over. That's why you're seeing us in person.
Yeah.
That's why this wasn't just done quietly. Like, you need to...
Like everyone else.
Right, because you're afraid.
Exactly.
And every time she's stepping forward, she's getting rewound.
Yeah.
And then Judge Lady goes to rewind her. It doesn't work.
And then look behind them, it's B-15. Pushes the button, the collars pop off. She pulls out Lady Loki's big sword, throws it over to her, and then a whole big old fight. Just beef time right here. Angry Lady does get dispatched quite quickly. She doesn't get pruned.
Yeah, she doesn't get pruned, but she gets taken out
She
for
gets
some
knocked
reason.
out onto the ground. Unfortunately, I think she was quite cool.
I thought I would have preferred if they'd had maybe 5 or 10 more guards and had Angry Lady like sort of even the odds a bit.
Yeah.
Because they don't have their powers.
Be a three-way back-to-back type thing.
Right. I feel like that would have been better. And I'm cool with her getting taken out.
Yeah.
But I feel like this whole point she's been built up to be this badass that you don't want to go up against, and then she gets taken out by some guys. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, they have this fight. The other guards, pretty inconsequential. There's a bit of fight going on between them. It's quite cool fight choreography. The judge woman picks up a stick off the ground. These batons, I don't know if they always had this.
They're pruning sticks and shanks.
And shanks from the other side. Like, also, deleting someone from the timeline is not enough.
That's the thing. And
let's also put a fucking pointy bit on the end of it.
So, I'm going to say this. Immediately, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And then I had the suspicion, like, what if pruning isn't quite what we thought it was? I did say before, what if, like, they're not actually killed, they've moved somewhere. Yeah. But, like, what if it's not deletion, it's like a teleportation or something, because then you got like prune them, send them to the place, or kill them. That's what this
starts to mean, because also, why would the timekeepers need to see them being pruned? They see everything.
Right.
They don't need to see it. Like, once they're pruned, they can tell straight away that they've been taken out from the timeline.
Exactly.
So there's something else. This was an execution room, and this was going to be something different.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't get to find that out. They have that. They have a bit of a fight going back and forth. The judge lady can hold her own in this fight. She's really quite good.
We also kind of presume that the higher up you go, not only better your job, you're some more badass. It just
Obviously,
makes sense.
you get better combat skills as well with it. You grant it.
Never throw hands with an actual judge, because obviously,
never going to go
right.
Never going to go well.
She does get KO'd, though.
She does get KO'd, and Lady Loki and Sylvie and Loki. Right. I keep hitting your mic. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Loki and Sylvie finally done. And then they see the timekeepers up there, and they try and talk some shit. However, Lady Loki just grabs her sword and throws it.
Boomerangs
nails.
It. Oh, nails it.
Nails the top guy right in his head. Knocks his head off. Drops to the ground, and she's about to go and attack the other one.
They start laughing.
And then Loki's like, "Whoa, hold on a second."
I don't know if you noticed, but when that sword cuts him, it sparks.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, as soon as it hit, I'm like, no, something ain't right here.
Robots! We see them.
Freaking cold here, boys!
Hashtag Sheps was right. And that's also your Twitter handle, so that's going to be confusing.
That's right.
So yeah, and then we see like the head, and they pick up the head, and it's like it's a fake. Yeah. And the other robot sort of like
they start laughing and say like I think they say like you've no idea what you're dealing with, or something, and then power down.
And like, well, now what?
Yeah.
And they're sort of in disbelief and confusion. They don't know what they're gonna do. They try and like talk to try and like get up a plan, but they're so completely confused. There's nothing they can do.
They got to the end, and the end was the beginning. And now they don't know, and it's a whole new conspiracy that goes above the existence of the universe and time. And now what's up?
Yeah.
And she's freaking lost, man.
Yeah.
but he isn't.
He has one thing to say, and he's like, "Look, I have something to tell you."
This is new for me. Oh my god, Tom Hiddleston's delivery here.
He's like, "We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out."
How do you know?
Because,
How do you know?
back on Lamentis, this is all new to me.
Yeah.
And like holds her with both hands. And just as he's about to say something, from behind, and he gets deleted. He gets pruned by the judge woman from behind.
Yeah.
And you're like, Loki! First Mobius and now Loki?
Right.
What is this show?
Immediately, for less than a heartbeat, I was like, that's brave. And then straight away, I'm like, there's no way they got rid of Tom Hiddleston. There's no way. So for me, the second that happened, I'm
He
like,
is the character.
the second that happened, I'm like, I didn't think, oh, they're going with a female lead now. And I'm like, no, pruning isn't what we've been told it is.
Yeah.
It's not what we think it is because we've never been told what it does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that would be interesting to see what pruning actually is.
Yeah.
One other beef that I have with this episode. So my 3 beefs were there was something at the beginning which I've forgotten. I can't remember. Oh yeah, the them like falling in love and that being an event that they can see in an apocalypse.
Right.
That doesn't really make sense. Potentially Lady Loki.
That's also the thing, because if the apocalypse is going to wipe out whatever's on the side, why is
right.
that?
So that's my beef, is like, if they're at an apocalypse event and they're going to die, why does them falling in love change anything? It doesn't.
It must mean that that's going to do something else.
For sure.
It has to be
Like
like,
True
it
Love's
opens
Kiss-
a portal into time.
True Love's Kiss brings colour back into WandaVision,
Yep.
so it could be one of those things.
Yeah.
That Lady Loki wearing that necklace that I assumed cut off her power gets to enchant the chick, which also is very dangerous.
Yeah.
So I didn't. That I kind of have a beef with. And then here, kill the judge, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, this is the lady that you have attached. All the other people were there on the orders. She was there on orders, but like, she did you dirt in the elevator, shank her in the chest, be done with it.
Look
You know,
at her while she
don't-
takes her final breath.
Right. Don't leave her, the enemy behind you, unconscious. Like, you death check all of these people.
Yeah.
And then you
As you
address-
walk out, stab each
Yeah.
one of them. Cool, no problem. No
Right.
problem.
Exactly. So that is my one of my big beefs with the episode.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
yeah,
Loki.
Yes,
it's
the
about-
thing.
that delivery, and then
Yeah.
mate.
Hard right there. And then the end of the episode.
Yeah.
There's nothing else after that. Absolutely nothing else after
Nothing
that.
else.
We can
I'm
end
so
it. Thank you for
glad.
writing in very much, guys. We're gonna.
I'm so glad you also realised this was the end of the episode. And
Yes.
watching the credits is worthless.
It's worthless. No one should watch the end of the credits. There's definitely nothing after that. The first 3 episodes didn't have anything, so
It's true.
shouldn't have anything after
I'm
that.
glad that we're suspicious. Because this could have easily been missed, and I don't know why they did it like this.
It could have easily been missed, because, I mean, I'm sure after 3, it's like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, which is after the 3rd time, you're like,
just
fuck
shame
everything.
in general, yeah.
And then the 4th time, nobody's looking for it, except we're that much of an idiot that we did it.
The other thing is that it's not just after 3 episodes. 50% of the show,
Yes.
half,
Yeah.
nothing.
And then... Yeah, and then so there is a mid-credit scene between the 2 of the credits, and it's
Between
Loki.
the 40 minutes of credits, yeah.
40 minutes of credits. Loki wakes up, and we're like, oh shit,
Am I dead?
he's somewhere.
Yeah.
He wakes up, and then he hears someone talk.
No, so I think he says, am I dead? Is this
Yeah.
hell or heaven or whatever?
Yeah, he says, is this hell? And I had the subtitles up, and it's Hel from like Helheim.
Oh, okay,
so
right.
It's great stuff. I
Yeah,
like it.
good stuff.
Anyway, he's like, is this hell? And it's like, no. But
He goes, is this hell? Am I dead? He goes, no, but you will be if you don't come with us.
Yes.
And then it cuts to 4 Lokis.
4, was there 4? I only saw 3
The
people
alligator
there.
was a Loki.
So here's the thing. I was a quick glance.
I
I should have paused it and gone back, right? But I saw an old man Loki.
Yep.
I saw a young Loki,
Boy
a little
Loki.
little boy.
Black Loki.
I thought this was Black Thor because he had something
I
in
thought
his
it was
hand.
Idris Elba.
I
Again, I was making notes.
I was
so
like,
it's hard.
this is Black Thor because he's got like a hammer in his hand, but it didn't look as grand as Thor. I don't know what it is, but I didn't see an alligator.
So the kid's holding like an alligator, which could be a pet, except that it's wearing Loki horns.
Okay.
Google it. Have a look.
I'm actually gonna let's have a look now.
It's a bit confusing as to what's going on exactly, but pretty good. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
We've got two episodes left. Yeah, 5 and 6, right?
Yes, 2 episodes,
episodes
left.
left.
5 and 6, and then that's it. Okay, I've got the picture here. So the guy has a hammer.
Does he?
And as you said, he's holding an alligator, and the alligator has horns. I'm going to have to put this in the thing as well. Do you know what? That old man, just at first glance, looks like Kevin Spacey.
Oh, he does have a hammer, yeah.
So I was like, is this Black Thor?
It could be.
Anyway, that's cool regardless, and I want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, so the alligator wearing the thing, I was like, that's why I must have missed the... so maybe that might be Black Thor.
Yeah.
That might be Thor because... I don't know why we're calling him Black Thor. That might be Thor because... Yeah. I didn't notice the hammer because I was looking at the crown on the alligator.
Yeah. And also, when you see 3 other Lokis, you think,
right.
oh, that's probably Loki as well. But this
and
is
also,
a place...
Old Man Loki's pretty loud.
Yeah.
He's in the old school comic dress, you know?
Also, this is clearly the place you go when you get pruned, so there's probably going to be other people as well, right?
Ooh! Yeah, well, not just other people. All the stuff that gets pruned, like maybe they'll find Lady Loki's little ship and stuff
maybe.
from when she was a kid.
Do you reckon it dumps everything from the timeline just in there?
Do you reckon if we keep going, we'll find Jeff Goldblum and the Hulk in a... you know what I mean? That's where it all goes.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's the end of the episode and the end of the mid-credit scene. Thank you everybody for watching that.
Trash tier episode. It just spins its wheels, retreads old ground.
Anything really.
Thank you, IGN, for those great takes.
Yeah, you guys got it locked down.
Did
over
it once
there.
again.
Let's kick it over some of our bros over on patreon.com/conversations who write in and get their comments read out first because you guys are awesome.
That's right.
I pulled out my cable and now my battery's running out. Hold on a second.
Oh my god, it's gone red.
It's actually, it's telling me my Mac's going to turn
I
off.
hate you.
You've never witnessed that, have you? You've never witnessed that on your laptop?
Not on my own personal battery operated things.
Devices.
Yeah.
Our first bro writes in, Albie Scory writes in to patreon.com/conversation. He says, some may call me crazy, but hear me out. This is the place for crazy.
Yep.
The timekeepers were puppets controlled by Emperor Palpatine. Dun dun dun, dun. Unlimited power.
Hey man, the way this has been going,
could fucking happen.
Not that unrealistic.
Could fucking happen, couldn't it?
Disney owns Star Wars, is what I'm saying.
Crossover time?
Right.
Look, Crisis
Finally.
of Infinite Earths is proof that you can cross over anything. And
it works. It works amazingly well. So, I agree.
I hate what they did to Tom Welling. Anyway, our next bro.
I'm going to quickly say this. They could have fixed that. All they had to do is have his wedding band have a blue gem on it. That's it. And now it makes sense. Even I know this. Because this isn't the Force. You can't close yourself off from being a Kryptonian.
Right.
You can't give up. What are you talking about?
You are an alien. You can't
you're a
give
nuclear
that up.
reactor, and there's the power source. Like, you can't delete the sun, you mugs.
And then also, if you're a Smallville fan, 10 seasons of him trying to get away from it, then realizing his purpose is too great.
Himself.
It's too great for him to not be who he is.
Wedding band, blue kryptonite. That's all it needed.
Done.
I hate it. I hate it so much that even I had to bring up Superman defense in this. I hated that, and I love Tom Welling.
Cobra SS writes into patreon.com and he writes in, great episode, lots of emotion, looking forward to seeing what the fake timekeepers and deleted realm thing takes us. Love they got Richard E. Grant in.
Yeah.
Who's Richard E. Grant?
The old guy.
Oh, is he the old guy?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him. That's going to be interesting to see there. Always love it. Love seeing him as an old grumpy Loki is perfect, or a cosplayer that they mistook for a Loki.
That would be amazing.
If they delete them, they're like,
mate,
stupidity is so high.
That would be amazing. But they're bureaucrats, innit? You saw the business these guys are in. They could easily do that.
Like the Loki was actually standing behind him.
Right.
And he was like, well, this is clearly the guy who's got horns.
Good enough.
Bzz, bzz, done. That's really jokes, actually. I want that to be real. Yeah, thank you writing into Patreon there. We'll kick it over now to our Discord server.
That's right.
where Mario 5380, the loser of Conversations, of Discord, and of the Four Pillars. In fact, Star Wars in general, anything basically. The guy spoils a lot of Star Wars stuff. I wouldn't follow him on Twitter if I was you. He goes, not a theory, but I can't wait for Eddie to name the episode Timekeepers are Robots. More Lokis, question mark, and have both of that in the thumbnail as well.
No, I was thinking we would have the additional Lokis and the Timekeeper android head.
Right.
Right.
There you go. And like, more Lokis, pruning doesn't work,
Yeah.
and Timekeepers are robots.
Well, I was thinking it would be like Mobius and Loki get pruned, but they're fine.
But they're fine. They live. Don't worry.
Right, and then in brackets, not clickbait.
Right.
And then in the square brackets, Timekeepers are robots.
That's it.
Yeah.
Emotional.
Emotional star.
That's it.
Yeah. Sick. Yeah. Do you want to actually make that the freaking title? Because I'm down.
Just to fuck with Mario.
I'm down. I'm down.
Just to spite you, Mario, we'll do this.
Also, no one's going to believe that shit coming from us. We're at a point where we write so much stupid stuff, we can tell the truth and no one will believe it.
Exactly.
Right?
Guys, there's alligators in the sewers. Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh. No, I'm telling you, and one is Loki.
What is Loki, I'll tell you. Oh, boy.
I really hope that is a Loki and not just a pet.
It is just like, what the fucking hell? I wish Talks in the next one was like... So, and he's got a really sophisticated accent as well. Yeah. Like a British accent.
Gentlemen. Oh, they are all British so far.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. The British accent is scary to Americans.
It's
so
true.
It's
it sounds intelligent.
Exactly.
But we're doing our best to dispel this.
That's our mission. That's our mission here at Conversations.
All stereotypes are harmful, okay?
Do you want to read the next question?
Yeah. CIA 56 says, gonna go right off the bat and guess this is young Sylvie. Oh yeah, the girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Also took me a minute to realize that the hunter escorting her was the judge lady. See, he also knows her name.
Yeah. Judge lady, yeah.
I'm curious if Loki and Sylvie just surrendered. Pretty funny to see Loki. Yeah, they might have just surrendered to be saved.
Because they were an apocalyptic event with no way off.
Right. Pretty funny to see Loki reliving the same moment over and over. Owen Wilson said now, but the first time I thought it was wow. He said how. He says Owen Wilson said now. He says how because she says C50 whatever it is dead.
2 letters.
How?
2 letters.
The angry hunter it's angry lady.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Show some respect.
Get the names right.
Show some respect.
These people are respected characters and actresses and actors. You need to give them their correct
title. Show some respect.
Jesus Christ.
And
it makes people angry in the chat when you get it wrong. God.
Come on. We're trying to maintain a high standard of entertainment.
Yeah.
She didn't know the truth. From the way she was acting earlier in the episode, you could tell she was going to do something. Now Mobius knows the truth too. I wonder what he's going to do. They freaking killed him. He was on. I think he's writing this live.
He's writing it like each sentence is a completely new thing I figured out here. So
I feel like he's writing a thing as he watches it.
Yeah.
And then like wait, they freaking killed him.
Hey, if that's the way he's got.
Man, write your comments how you want to write him.
Exactly.
He was one of the best characters. Yes, he was. I hate the judge now. The place with the timekeepers looks like a prison. Oh, looks like the place from the end of Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
And the second timekeeper we saw looks like a terrible version of the Lorax. That's what it is.
Yeah, I can see it.
Please have Sylvie kill the judge. I'm begging. Hashtag justice for Mobius. When the timekeepers had when the timekeeper had their head chopped off, I thought it's just that easy. But they're robots. That's right, I called it. They are robots. Did they kill the main character? Oh, sorry. He thought it's just that easy, but they're robots. And did they just kill the main character? And that's the end. And one tiny question. Wait, he's alive? What? And there's more variants of Loki. So just to be clear.
I love seeing like the reaction. Like, it's like, oh my God, they killed him. Oh my God, he's alive.
Just to be clear.
It's like how we do it here.
Reading on camera.
Yeah.
Even when you're practicing on camera, not the easiest thing. Reading somebody else's thoughts on camera, very difficult. Reading somebody else's thoughts as they happen live, quite difficult. So if the inflections are off, I'm really sorry. It's not as easy as it looks. And if you think it is, start a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Do it your own. Do it yourself. Yeah. Next comment is from our boy called Link the Platypus, and he says, Loki is our guys. Yes, he is. And that's his whole comment.
Yes,
by the
there
way.
is.
Yes, there is.
Agreed.
All of them.
Diogo says, or do you want to go back?
Yeah, because I was like, for
Cool.
four
Alright.
words. Diogo says, now I can paste my really long review, but I don't need to create a new create a time nexus event to realize that Eddie and Sheps don't like that. All I say is that this was the best episode so far. 4, 1, 2, and then 3. Glad he's got 3 at dead last. There.
Yeah, 3 is dead last, especially knowing it's just 100% filler. It didn't do anything.
No.
And it doesn't make sense. The Nexus event on Lamentus doesn't make sense. It doesn't
Nope.
work. It doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
Unless they were gonna bang and form one Mecha Loki. You know how like the Power Ranger Zords would thing.
Go Mecha Loki.
Right. And then that could survive, maybe. But otherwise,
Nah.
trash.
Wild theory time. Sylvie was a variant because she played with the wrong toys.
That's not that stupid.
Let's see how they pan this out. They wiped the toys from the timeline. Ravonna doesn't remember what the offense was, so maybe it was a small thing. And the PSA thing from episode 1 even said that the clock into work a minute
If you clock into work a minute
a
late,
minute late, you would be a variant. Okay, it would make you a variant because you're not on the
Yeah.
timeline they set. Okay, so but what would the toys? But just because it's different toys?
yeah, just because she's a minute late, she's not on the sacred timeline, or they're in the wrong order or something.
Okay, so yeah, but
It can be minor. It's
I
supposed
guess
to be a
because
certain
it's like
way.
if you step on a leaf, then like he says in the thing, like if you
Yeah.
step on a leaf, it causes a
If
massive
you step on the
branching.
wrong leaf, sort of thing.
So if
yeah,
you play with the different toys, you go in a different path.
maybe.
Could you imagine if it's that trivial? Telling her
I
after
think
all
that
of
would be
that,
great.
and it's just like you chose the Hydra monster.
Yeah,
Hydra confirmed. You chose a Hydra
It's supposed to
monster
be a
instead of
Kraken.
the Kraken.
yeah. Or you
Delete.
had or you told you were playing and you got the story wrong and that's it.
Motherfucker.
Boy, I do think that would be probably actually better than my idea that they turned up to prune a Loki and it was a brother and sister Lokis and they got the wrong one.
Occam's razor is like the simplest answer is most often
Right,
the correct one.
Right.
Yeah.
T Sheddy Stan says, I think he means holy shit. Actually
No,
says
it's definitely Holly.
Holly shit.
Holy shit.
I didn't know the Hollies could do that, but
It's Holly Gennaro shitting.
oh,
That's what it
that's some
is.
top tier shit.
There you go. Top tier shit.
Holy shit! What an episode. So timekeepers are androids. No, they're robots. Androids compete with Apple. They're too busy.
I'm too busy.
Androids makes me wonder if it's really Kang behind this anyway. Oh, if it's really Kang behind this. Anyway, amazing episode. I love that the amazing soundtrack is like Loki's theme now. That the post-credit scene got me hyped seeing classic Loki. Yeah, that was cool. So when people get shocked by that, it just sends them to a dead timeline where everything is fricked. I guess I don't get the part where if they kiss, the timeline would break completely and cause an instant timeline that can't be purged. Oh, the Nexus event,
I
yeah.
have to think that it's some sort of magical thing. It's because, like they say later, they were like, "Oh, you're so narcissistic, you're so self-involved that you fell in love with yourself."
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think that's the end of it. I think, well, that's a cool point to bring up because he is very like self-involved. I have to think it's something, some sort of magical something. Like their two powers
I can believe
cause
that.
something.
I
I
can
don't know what
believe
it
that.
might be, but we have to find out what that is. We don't know what it
Also,
is.
just to like quickly jump back to stuff, that whole thing of like Loki's bi. No, Loki's in love with himself
Yeah,
in the weirdest way possible.
it's masturbation. That's what it is.
We've already established
yeah,
this.
it's masturbation.
So he also goes on. Also, I'm guessing she's a variant because Odin told her that she's adopted, or simply because she prefers. Yeah, she does say she was told. She does say she was told. One thing though, because he said, or maybe because she's presenting herself as female, because Loki can change his form and not just look different. He can change his form.
Yeah,
The Loki that we see is how he chooses to show himself because he's actually blue.
yeah.
He's actually an ice giant. So maybe there is no such thing as a male or female Loki, but she chose to be a little girl instead of a little boy,
Yeah.
and that's the divergent thing.
Could
Maybe.
be. Could be.
that she just chose to be a female.
Because on the sacred timeline, Loki presents himself as male.
Also, the variants that we see were all male. No, they were all male, but they were all vastly different in appearance. But they were all male.
Yeah.
Or they what we assume to be male.
Could be something simple like that. Could be.
I actually like the idea that maybe it's because she chose to be a girl or she was playing with the wrong toys. I think that would be very cool for it to have caused all of this to spiral out of control. And again, proves that the TVA are the bad guys, isn't it?
Yeah. The next comment is from our boy right, Sydney says, first thing, I hate Ravonna. I hate her.
Who's
Ravonna? What's that?
Who's Ravonna?
Yeah, I don't know. Gonna have to write him in the comments to let us know who that is.
Yeah.
I want her pruned, but Sylvie is clearly wiser than me since she didn't let her anger get the best of her. Really happy to see that Mobius and B-15 learned the truth. Definitely don't think we've seen the last of them, especially since we got to see Loki after being pruned in the post-credit scene on the right side of. Go.
Mobius is here seeing the prune universe. We might get a wow.
We might get a wow. Or do you reckon they will just beat him up because, as you do to your prison guard?
Oh yeah, he's a cop in prison, isn't
exactly. It's no good idea.
Oof.
On the right side of the three of who found him, it looked like Tony Stark's tower in rubble. So over Earth. Oh, it could be Earth. I didn't notice that. Actually, do I have the window still open? Yes, I do. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at this as well.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it looks like the Avengers Tower.
Oh yeah.
Good catch right there. I like that. All right, okay. I like where your head is at. I guess it was cheaper to do Earth than come up with another place. And
I don't know, man. They
had assets already.
Well, I mean, they made all of frickin' Lamentis
Pointlessly.
What
right?
a good way to spend your budget.
Yeah. It would be really funny. It's like a star rating, average star rating for people versus how much money they cost to do that. And it's just oof down there.
Oof.
So we have Tony Stark's tower in the rubble. I'm assuming that this is the timeline where Loki won the Battle of New York and has taken over Earth. That's a good point. That would also explain why the three kind of look like Loki. I mean, the guy admittedly is being a narcissist, so why wouldn't he make his subjects all look like him? Though, could be something like that.
Yeah.
Everyone has to look like me. Everyone has to dress like
maybe.
that. Maybe he'd want to be above everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm still on the side that this is a prune area.
I agree.
These are all the other Lokis and whatnot. Though the guy on the left seemed to have a hammer that kind of looked like Mew Mew.
Mew Mew.
I refuse to call it its actual name. Thank you, Darcy, because Darcy calls
it's Mew Mew.
Also, Loki Sylvie love story confirmed. At first, I didn't know how I felt about it, but I think there's actually a thing where one of them can physically and sexually be attracted to themselves, which I believe is called autosexual. I never knew that was a thing. Is that?
I started yawning. I have no idea.
I've never known that term, but I have experienced that before. Looking in the mirror, I'm just like, I'd fuck me.
Yeah, I can totally see how only you would think that.
I'd jizz all over my back. That's I think I took that a step too far.
Yeah, you know, there's the line, and you took a running leap over. The line's a dot to you now. It's just like you can't. Is that? No, I think that's fine.
It's nothing. It's probably a hair somewhere. Apologies if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the term.
Imagine saying something on our show and being wrong. It's ridiculous. You took a real big risk there.
We're never wrong, we are. But then again, Sylvie doesn't like being called Loki because I'm assuming she doesn't consider herself Loki. She's just Sylvie. She's just her own being. I must admit, I did feel a bit uncomfortable when she placed her hand on Loki. I was totally expecting a kiss, but definitely sparked up something for the TVA to find them. But after seeing the whole episode,
did it know why? They're in an apocalypse.
Exactly. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's a lot of questions.
Hopefully, I really need that to be explained.
Yeah.
I really need that to be explained.
But after seeing the whole episode, I guess I would be able to look past the weirdness of the two truly are going to have a love story together. And I mean, is it really all that weird, given all we've seen weirder things? Like the fact one of the timekeepers looks like a freaking Lorax. I love how everyone's latched onto that. And that's just in the show. What about the rest of the Marvel? Yeah, I think we can get on board with Loki, Sylvie ship. But I mean, what an episode. The title track still gives me the heebie-jeebies though. Bing, 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 bing,
Yeah, I
bing,
see.
bing,
I get
bing,
that.
bing, 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 bing.
Diogo make a small
Shh.
correction here that the tower is not Stark Tower, but the Avengers Tower from 2014 to 2016.
How does he know that?
Who cares? But yeah, it does look
Diogo's way too stupid.
like... It did look like the Avengers Tower to me. Like, you know, when the one that they capture Loki and he gets hulked in.
I'm going to say it's not.
Either way, it looks like it's from the timeline if Loki were to have won.
I'm going to say it's not just because it goes against Diogo.
Oh, good point. Never mind, I'm changing my answer too.
Yeah, good
Get
stuff, good
fricked.
stuff. Get fucked, Diogo.
Hodge says, this episode was outrageous. They killed off Owen Wilson before he could say, wow.
Can't
Very
believe it.
disappointed in Marvel. SMC my controller. Shaking my controller, my controller.
Shake my controller. That's the gamer way of shaking your head.
I'll be honest, if it had just been him pruned, I'd be like, wow, I can't believe they killed him. The fact that they did Loki as well, I immediately was like, yeah, they're not dead.
No,
Pruning
they're
isn't what
coming
we
back,
thought
boys.
it was, yeah.
And our final comment from Big Boy Billy. It says,
Yes, Billy.
So firstly, the episode was far better than last week's episode.
Way better.
Yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed every second of it. Mobius freaking died, but I'm not sure he's actually gone, considering Loki survived the pruning. Kind of wish he said, wow, as he phased out of existence. Could you imagine? Wow! Because I presume it hurts, so we can't...
Yeah, it seems like it does.
Yeah, fucking being burnt from the inside. Ember and shit. The story is heading in a super interesting direction, and it must be leading to Kang reveal at this point. Everyone thinks it's going to be Kang. It seems that way.
Well, it's clearly going to be Mephisto, so stop being stupid.
Exactly. Don't be an idiot.
Don't be dumb.
Don't be dumb.
Come on.
And then Hydra obviously coming as well back again.
Yeah, I mean, Mephisto made Hydra.
Exactly.
It's facts.
Exactly. One little theory I'm starting to think about is the reason Sylvie is a variant was because she was going to be a good person. Fuck.
She does say, help him.
Fuck. Because it's just not Loki.
Yeah.
It's
She's not
not
Loki enough.
Loki.
She wouldn't have done the invasion of Earth and all that.
They need Loki to be bad, to be taken away, to take to Asgard, then redeem himself later, and then become part of things so he could be on the ship to give the Infinity Stone to... It's simple things that it could be.
All of these, the three of these sound really good.
Yeah.
I could buy any one of them, yeah.
With the toys in the beginning, she was playing the hero and trying to save Asgard. And then the TVA reset the timeline.
Ooh.
They removed the toys, which could also support this. I'm on board with Billy right here.
Yes, because she did set up the Hela fight. That's basically what that was. There was the bridge with the wolf and everything.
Yeah.
So, Ote.
I'd say.
Ote.
She also shares a lot of drastic differences with the other Loki in appearance, with lacking the black hair. She doesn't look like Loki, and her story, such as being told she was adopted from a young age, possibly leading her away from the path of mischief. Her hatred towards the name Loki could also suggest she felt she didn't quite fit the bill and didn't want to be mischievous and evil. There has also been reoccurring theme throughout the show that you don't have to be bad even to be told to be. So yeah, you don't have to be bad to be told to be. You just have to be told to be that you're going to be bad.
Right.
Such as when Loki said, "No one's good." I'm sorry, I'm off a different line here. So Loki said, "No one good is ever really good, and no one bad is ever really bad."
Okay.
And in this episode, when Mobius told Loki that he didn't have to be bad, he could be anything he wanted to be.
Yeah.
Ravonna smiled and snide. I don't remember was when Sylvie asked her what the Nexus event leading to all of this believed wasn't your average Nexus event. What do you guys think? I think that's a good idea. I think that's right.
Yeah, I like that idea that she
was just going to be a good person.
It's sort of like
something
what
not Loki.
It's sort of what Diogo was saying, which is she was playing with the wrong toys. It's not she was playing with the wrong toys. She was playing the wrong side of the toys. You know?
Could you... That's the worst as well. Like, you're pruned because you're not going to be evil. You're pruned because you're good.
Yeah.
It's literally being punished for being good. It's
I like that idea a lot.
that's
I
good.
like that's melded a lot of all of our stuff, and then it's also the sort of thing where she'd be like, you know, of all the prunings, of all the variants that she's collected, one where you were playing with the wrong side of the toys, that's not going to stick in the memory,
Yeah,
right? So
it's mad.
yeah,
It's mad.
it's cool.
All right, guys. Thank you all for writing into this episode of Streamcast.
That's
you
right.
can join us for the next episode next week.
Yes.
Episode 5 will be the penultimate episode,
Yeah.
and it'll be
I'm
good
suddenly
fun thing.
back to looking forward to Loki. After the last one, I was like, maybe they lost it, and Tom and whatever her name is, the actress playing Lady Loki, were carrying it.
Yeah.
But we're back on track, boys.
We're back on track, lads. All right, guys. We'll catch you all in the next one, bro. I'll catch you in the next one as well. Let's see you later. Let's get a Loki fist bump right there, and then there's a magic.
Well, you were supposed to do that, so you're getting pruned, mate.
I was gonna say, oh man, I've deviated. I'm a variant.
You are a deviant, that's for sure. If I'm editing
I don't
this,
know why I'm
from
thinking.
then on, it's just the whole freaking screen's going to that nonce emoji. That's it.
All right, guys. Catch you later.
Yeah.